And obviously real estate provided opportunities to work with people a lot more closely, build a lot more relationships, but then at the same time gives me flexibility, during the week, picking up the daughter, doing a little bit of work from home, a little bit out. You give a bit more on the Saturdays, but you a little bit back during the week.
Going once, going twice, sold. You're listening to The Property Pod.
All right. Welcome to The Property Pod, your weekly engagement into a fun and entertaining show all about real estate here in the Hobart Marketplace.
You better believe it.
You
baby.
better believe it. Trying out new intros is pretty tricky. I'm your host, Aaron Horn. I'm joined, as always, by Patricia Berry and Jonathan McGregor.
Well, let's face it. Commanding pauses can be difficult sometimes, but it's worth practicing.
Yeah, I pulled it off. I reckon I got there.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah, no, look, shout out to everybody that's listening along. You heard our Olympic intros the other week. Here we are with something brand new. Pat's claimed that we can't do the same one every week. I think it's good for continuity. Pat, thoughts?
I just thought I'd change it up.
Yeah.
We've got 80 episodes now. Just felt a bit repetitive.
80, mate. 90.
Oh, shit.
How many hours did you work out?
So I was lying in bed last night. I was trying to nut out how many times we'd done this. Like, you could essentially listen to the Property Pod for 2 days straight.
Look, speaking of people going to bed, I did find from my friends this week, Marcus and Kirsten, who will probably be listening right now, that they enjoyed the soulful sounds of us sleeping at night time.
Yeah, so...
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but shout out to you guys while you lay there trying to go to sleep tonight.
Welcome to the Property Pod.
I couldn't work out whether that was a really good thing or a really bad thing. Like, are we so boring that we put people to sleep? Or are we so soothing?
Those soulful
The
tones.
soulful tones are just like, I really like falling asleep.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we can flip it either way. You guys are in sales, so you can flip it however you want.
Hey, I'm just excited someone's listening, so I'll take it.
Well, shout out to all our listeners out there. We had a really good response to last week's episode, and I feel like we're going to have a really good response to this week's episode. So this week we've brought in a special guest, and it's someone that you might get to know a bit more moving forward with the Property Pod and with 414 Property Co. Today we are bringing in a brand new team member, a new guy that is joining the 414 family. We're bringing in Sam Allwright.
Cheers. Good morning, everybody. How are we?
Very well. Thanks for joining us on the Property Pod, and thanks for joining us here in the 414 family.
I'm excited with this. It's getting very interesting. Love all the gear, love all the tech.
Yeah, there's nothing like joining a new company and coming in and saying, just jump on camera and tell us your life story so that we can check you. Like, this is the interview, actually, mate.
I'm just being very careful I don't break anything.
Yeah.
I do have a history of breaking items. Anything expensive, keep it away from me.
Well, speaking of history, can you give all the listeners out there a little history on yourself, kind of a little flash into who Sam Allwright is?
Sure. Very, very roughly. Been in real estate for probably about 12 months.
Yep.
Been in sales, though, I suppose you'd say, for probably over 20 years.
Yeah.
So I've been dealing with a lot of clients with government customers, print houses, that sort of stuff. So I've had a lot of dealings with people back to front. But then I suppose outside of that, I've dealt a lot to do with cooking, mountain biking, motor vehicles, car racing, motorbikes.
So you're an activities man. You love a little bit of extreme sports out there in the
Ether?
Oh, 100%. Most of the reason I probably got into sales was so I could actually work while talking about cars and motorbikes. Like, it's probably a bit of a selfish thing. You get to talk about the things that you like with the people that you like. It makes my life so much more fun, I suppose.
It might sound like a silly thing, but real estate, not cars. Was there ever
I did dabble a little bit in cars a long time ago.
Yep.
But it is difficult to deal with the fast cars and the expensive ones all the time.
Yeah, right.
Which is where my heart is.
Yeah, gotcha. Is it sort of a very different environment of selling too? Like where you were, cars versus real estate? Has that been an interesting transition?
Yeah, cars was a long time ago.
Yeah, right.
Did that when I was much younger. But yeah, it's very much sitting in a small confined space. Where here in real estate, you get to get out and actually physically meet people in their own homes.
Yeah,
you get to
that
see
makes
much more of what they're doing. You get to make a lot more lasting friendships because you're dealing with them over 2 to 3 months rather than 1 or 2 interactions in an office.
Yeah, and out again. Now, you did mention that cooking was a thing. Does that mean that you're the one who's doing most of the bulk of the cooking at home? What's the story
It is
there?
me doing the bulk of the cooking at home.
Right.
I'll 100% say that. I do love my partner, but cooking is not one of her strong suits.
Right, yeah.
She has many.
Yep.
She will listen to this. She has many. Love you, Emma. Cooking is not one of them.
She's already one up on mine. My wife never listens.
We've got the mics here, so we can talk about all our good traits and none of our flaws.
Please don't edit that out. I love you, Emma. But yeah, look, cooking's something I originally went through high school and into college and trained for when I was younger.
Oh, that's it.
Originally trained to be a pastry chef, so we do a lot of competitions between myself and a few other work colleagues where we try and
Out pastry each other.
pastry each other.
Yeah, nice.
Oh, I
Perhaps
feel
not
like
the-
there's a TV show there.
Yeah, not the birthday cakes perhaps, but if you want pastries, danishes, any of that sort of stuff,
Yeah.
I'm your man.
And look, in the end, that's what we've really been searching for as this team grows. Is everyone needs a unique skill at this point, and pastry was obviously that was a big void we've been
Something missing.
feeling. Yeah.
I'll warn you, you'll all get slightly larger and slightly fatter.
So, John, you're the bagpipes.
Yeah, exactly.
Bagpipes and pastry, we're all sorted.
Done.
This team is going to be epic.
Oh, can't wait for the joint open home with you two guys. John brings the entertainment.
Yeah, just bring out the kilt and just be playing bag like.
It'll be an experience like no other.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Referral business? Maybe. But memorable? Definitely.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So going back before real estate, before you mentioned in high school pastry chefing and all this stuff, are you Tassie born, Tassie bred?
Tassie born and bred.
Yep, all the way through.
Originally grew up on a farm, so
In a farm?
yeah, up at the Hamilton Broadmarsh Way. So still got ties back to there. Lots of family history. So yeah,
Yeah, excellent. And now you're living down Cremorne Way, is that correct?
down at South Arms. So
Yeah, so you've kind of traded in the farm, the inner rural lifestyle for beach.
I've always had that inkling for a bit of space, bit of land. Recently made that change to the beach.
Yeah, fantastic.
Lots of beach walks with the dogs, slowly learning how to surf, although I've got to admit it is not a pretty sight.
Oh, man, it's the hardest thing ever.
I know, I used to surf when I was younger, but nothing works like it used to. Now I'm in my mid-40s, so the balance is not there, everything hurts. But my daughter's keen in getting into it, so that's why I turn up in the cold and we just wing it.
Yeah, nice. I really like that. That's really cool.
No excuses, Sam. My father-in-law is nearly 65, 66, and he still surfs every week.
I know.
Come on.
There are guys out there.
And
on
have you got
longboards
out there
that-
and had a go?
No freaking way.
The worst part is you got your kids that are like 6 and 7 that just annihilate you, and it's just embarrassing. Some of my age not being able to stand up. I'm currently at about 4 to 5 seconds.
Yeah, no, so that's all right. The thing I always found hard was the paddling out. Like you paddle out and get there, and you think, all right, this is the wave. Like today's the day. I'm going to get this wave. I've paddled out here. I'm going to paddle in, and then you crash. You're like, oh, I'm exhausted. Now I've got to do it all again just to try and get that 4 or 5 seconds.
Yep, it's probably due to my fitness level than anything else, but I'll give it a go.
Hey, if you're happy to give it a go, then very good news. And it sounds like across your career, you've been really happy to give kind of everything a go, from baking to selling cars to, I believe, was printers was a
Yeah, probably the last 15 years in printer sales.
Yep.
So, yeah, pretty much enjoyed that. That was a good industry to be in.
Yep.
Obviously, COVID, everything changes, and real estate's been the direction now. And to be honest, loving it, like not looking back at all.
So is that one of the major reasons for the shift from printing to real estate, kind of the pandemic?
Yeah, the pandemic was just a bit of a mental reset. Had a look at what's out there, what sort of skill sets, what sort of industry I might like to sink my teeth into, and obviously real estate provided opportunities to work with people a lot more closely, build a lot more relationships, but then at the same time gives me flexibility, during the week, picking up the daughter, doing a little bit of work from home, a little bit out. You give a bit more on the Saturdays, but you a little bit back during the week.
Yeah, fantastic.
Gives
Finding
you
that really
more
nice balance.
Work-life balance. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, really cool. So I guess that's a really good way to segue from how you're finding it. You've been in it 12 months now. You've kind of worked at a previous place. You're now kind of spreading your wings and going somewhere else and trying to kind of level up into the next phase of your real estate
Advance
career.
into the next sort of level.
Yeah.
Really loving it. Like, just surprised the amount of, loyalty and kickback from clients that I've sold their homes on their behalf, or people I've sold homes to. You just build lasting friendships, which is just crazy. Like, I wasn't expecting people to be quite so, I don't know, loyal, appreciative. Like, it's part of
Open.
it. Yeah,
I find they open up a lot more than you would expect.
yeah, 100%. And like, that's just something I find really rewarding. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
And that goes, then with that then, is it surprised you, I suppose, where building those relationships has been something you've really understood that you enjoyed? Or like, because you just, with all the previous ones, you never were able to build that sort of trust?
You do, but generally over a 2 to 3 year period with long-term clients.
Right.
But here it's just a lot more, a rapid. You're helping people with generally the biggest asset in their lives.
Sure.
People are a lot more, vulnerable, honest, open. You just find it's a lot easier quicker to make those connections, and people are just a lot more genuine, a lot more warm.
Yeah, right. I mean, this is an interesting one, but no, generally speaking, when it comes to, I mean, you've obviously had a sales-oriented career, and, you know, it's usually sales is the most distrusted. Have you found that?
Correct.
You know,
lawyers.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, have you found that the way that you've approached the way your work ethic or anything has changed now you've come into real estate? Or has anything
Not
surprised you?
particularly, no. It's, you know, you're still dealing with people. And at the end of the day, I know it sounds probably corny, but I always try and think about it, how would I like, you know, my daughter to be treated one day, how would I like my dad to be treated one day? And that sounds corny, but it's Tasmania. You do the right thing by everybody, it'll come around full circle, I suppose, at the end of the day.
Yeah.
That's always been my ethos, and it's worked fairly well.
I know, like when I was learning, because my dad taught me, and he grew up on a farm in Western Australia, and the difference of the country, I really like the country ethic, which is the shake of a hand, is the deal. And I think obviously by bringing that approach, then which that air of authenticity, and you know what you say is your word, obviously that's been a really big benefit, I suppose, in your career.
Look, it has been, as you say, salespeople are naturally mistrusted because of what they do. But just I find being open, honest, delivering what you say you're going to do. I suppose bringing that handshake from the farming background is, you know, you try and convey that as best as you can and prove to people that you are honest, you are here to do the right thing.
Yeah.
That just means that these friendships, you know, recommendations have gone from people that have appreciated what I've done. They've just come full circle.
Yeah. And what's the transition for your family been like? I know it's a big shift, working alternative hours all the time. But how's that been for Emma and the kids?
Emma's been great. So she's helped me, supported me, looked after the daughter occasionally on the Saturdays.
Yeah.
When you have to do an open home or something like that. The daughter, on the other hand, she loves it.
Really?
There's a video with me in it or a picture with me in it. She's happy to take the mickey.
My dad's famous.
Yeah.
The first one possibly, and then after that she likes critiquing.
Oh,
Yeah, good.
Dad, I don't like your hair in that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, what did you do here? Why did you walk that way?
I like this. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, biggest
No,
cricket.
she loves it. She gets on board. So she's been, great support, both of them, to be honest. So, and to be honest, all my past clients, friends, family, they've all been quite supportive. So I've actually been really impressed and surprised by how many people have supported me.
That's awesome.
And again, how many people are actually interested in real estate? Like, everyone's got an opinion. Everybody wants to know something.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you start talking photocopiers,
Yeah.
people's eyes glaze over.
You're talking the 3-tray or the 4-tray model.
Oh, don't stop.
Speeds and feeds. But yeah, look, it's
Speeds and
sorry, guys. But yeah, look, real estate's just important to everybody. It's as I say, it's a massive asset. People are either renting, buying, owning, want to know where their asset's going. Everyone wants to have a chat to you.
It's definitely an industry where everyone has an opinion.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And mine is always wrong.
You always ask, always ask the other person's
That's
opinion first.
exactly right. Yeah.
So I guess you've said that you've been so supported in your little journey so far in the real estate game. How did you go about getting that first listing? I know that's kind of always the tricky thing of breaking in and being like, trust me with your really important asset. How did you go about getting the first one? Was it kind of a tricky deal, or was it?
It actually wasn't that tricky. It was actually a ex-work colleague
Okay.
that I'd known for probably close to 4 years.
Yep.
So we'd had a really close relationship. He was a manager at the previous workplace, and I'd just known him on and off. We'd had lots of banter and, just built up a relationship that had, based on honesty and trust. And I'd never sold anything to him. We worked together alongside each other.
Yeah.
And he was looking at shifting homes. He was selling down here and moving over to Queensland, and then also had this place to sell.
Oh, wow.
And the two all just fell together.
Yeah.
Beautiful property out in Brighton. Look, he's obviously has prior relationships with other realtors, and I obviously need to put my best foot forward to justify why I should go with me and what I should do. He knew my history, previous 20 years of sales, what I do for him, and then obviously did the sales. I'm the only one that's going to be selling this house. This is the only house for me. I'll be working on it solidly for 30 days.
Yeah.
Mate, we sold a second open home. The market's just so aggressive at the moment.
Yep.
I'm very happy with a ripper price for his property too.
Yeah, excellent.
I love when things just go to plan. Like, I remember my first listing was I was finishing up working in this hotel, and I'd just gone down for my dinner break because I was on the front desk, and so you had shift work.
Yeah.
And I just happened to be sitting at the bar talking to one of the bartenders, And he was like, "Oh, what are you off to do?" And I'm going to go work with my dad in real estate. And he's like, "Oh, I need to sell my block of land." And literally, I had Dad in that night signing the guy up. Didn't know nothing about the block. It's just like, "You better come in, Dad."
I've caught a listing.
And from memory, I think I finished up there, and I think I had it sold by fluke to a friend from school within about 3 days.
Oh, no. That's amazing.
So I had a really lucky start, but yeah, you get lucky sometimes. And it's great when friends or family can definitely support you in those early ones.
Yeah, well, this is purely off the back of Facebook advertising.
Yeah, cool.
He's just like, what? Where are you going? What are you doing? Oh,
Yeah.
well, actually, timing.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, come and have a chat. Did it all remotely out of Queensland and worked well.
Oh, so he'd already gone to Queensland.
He'd already moved to Queensland. Been up
Oh,
there
there
for
you
a year and a
go.
half.
Yeah. So obviously having someone that he knew and could trust in that sense
Yeah.
was extremely important. Yeah, that's it. Well, I mean, with that then, like what after your first listing, I mean, that's sometimes too they can come quick and fast and then think it's easy. Has the journey been easier or harder than you thought it might be?
Some parts of it have been easier, and some other parts of it have been harder, stuff that you weren't expecting.
Yeah.
So the easy part of it, I'm surprised at how quick everyone says the property market's hot, but homes are genuinely selling pretty quickly.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, and you're always trying to do the right thing by the vendor, obviously making sure their house gets the right penetration to the market. They're able to make sure they can make the best decision based on the information in front of them. But outside of that, the selling of the homes is actually found relatively simple, especially with a good team behind you, taking pictures, videos, doing that sort of thing. The hardest part's probably been, getting onto the market and actually physically getting the listings at this market.
Yeah, sure. And I guess that's that element of the relationships, like you spoke with earlier. Is that with that gentleman from Queensland, he knew who you were.
Yeah.
And then just as a nature of who you are, your work ethic translated to a great result for
And he
him.
knew the honesty that we're just blunt with each other. He knew exactly what he was going to get.
Yeah.
I'm not going to hide anything. Well, you're never going to hide anything from anybody, but the information that comes through is true and correct. He knows exactly what's going on.
Well, unfortunately, real estate agents come with that element of distrust.
Correct,
So
yeah.
knowing your previous history, he didn't have that worry working with you. So that was that element to help grow that relationship and get that listing.
Yeah, and a question for you guys, I suppose, too. Like, one of the things I have found a little bit interesting is trying to get the listings. Do you find there's a lot of people out there that are sort of interested that would list with you but are holding off to find a home? Or?
Hang on.
Sorry.
We weren't asked for questions.
This is not in the show notes.
I'm looking through here.
Not in the show notes. I've been here 10 minutes. I'm taking control. I told you you'd have some fun with it.
Well, that's just one of my questions.
John, you
I've
can
found.
go.
Look, I guess, when Patrick and I have been around for a little while now, so we've had enough time to see a couple of different movements. So, when we're selling before, you could say that if two people came to an open home, we didn't know, I didn't know what to do with all these people.
Yep.
But of course, it's a very different environment now. And with the statistics showing that there's a serious lack of properties becoming available, there are a lot of people that are stuck.
Yeah.
So, everyone's waiting to go, well, who's going to make the first move? So, but at the moment, we had, like with one of the properties we've got currently for listed, there's three separate clients who all need to sell their property to purchase this one house because we're trying to help all of them.
Yeah.
And that's just the nature of the environment at the moment. You've got a lot of people that are just stuck. So it's that element that if in these markets, it would seem to me that the relationships are more vital than ever because we're connecting people with opportunities that otherwise don't exist.
Got to keep those lines of communication open and honest.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, with now, starting with a new team, have you thought about any goals that you're looking to do or moving forward? What's the, what does that look like for you?
Goals.
If that's even a good word for it, I don't know.
Look,
Or just carry on the good work that you've been doing.
yeah, look, predominantly carrying the good work that I've been doing is probably the best start out point.
Yeah.
I'm effectively trying to get myself out on social media and let everyone know that I've obviously moved and changed.
Yeah, sure.
But ultimately, I'd like to move into that 45, possibly 50 houses per month.
Per month. Holy shit. Per year.
45 to 50 per year.
Yeah, sure.
That's trying to concentrate on one a week would be awesome.
Yeah, great.
I don't honestly know how long that's going to take, 2 to 3 years or 12 months. But that's the ultimate goal, and I hope that I can provide a level of service to clients that they recommend me.
Yeah.
I want to concentrate, and I've got a few people that I'm sort of modelling myself off, and it's all about that repeat business. So if I'm treating each individual sale as the absolute best that I can, and those people appreciate what I've done, that they'll pass other business on.
Well,
Sounds a bit swanky, but
No.
Nah.
Because in the end, any person that's successful in this industry is only successful by the virtue of good work and great referrals.
Yeah.
So if
I'm the same. Look, if I go down and have a great coffee at Shake a Leg or District B, first thing I do is recommend it to 5, 6 people. You got to go here. You got to try this.
Yeah.
Shout out to those guys, by the way, too.
Free coffee if you guys want to.
Thanks, Terry.
We do shout outs.
Well, we are now, I guess. It's really
All
made
the
this episode his own.
But like, I love coffee. People ask me what I like. I recommend those guys, and I hope ultimately the same thing happens with real estate. I mean, I know it's a serious business. It's big bickies, but you deal with the relationship and the trust and build those foundations. Like, have a bit of fun doing it. I mean, it is life. You've got to enjoy life. But at the end of the day, I'm hoping those relationships will come around full circle.
I
absolutely.
I think that's what we're really excited about is that you do like to have a bit of fun with real estate, and that's what our brand is all about. Like, we're not into big, giant corporate sort of way of doing real estate. It's more about fun, technology, interaction with clients, and it's going to be good experience to work with you over the next couple of years.
Yeah.
Watch this space.
Absolutely.
Indeed. Well, I think what we might do there is wrap that up. We'll go and try and sell some houses. I think you're going to have a little bit of a breather before you officially pop the colours on.
Correct, yes.
You're going to take the wonderful Emma away for a promised R&R.
Probably might need to buy a few things after this.
Yes, maybe, yeah. I don't think you threw her under the bus too bad. We'll mention your hair and say how she says that's your only good asset.
My only asset. Thank you, Emma.
Indeed. Thanks so much for coming in. You're always welcome on the pod. If one of us are ever away, I'm sure you'll step in a heartbeat and be the extra member of the team. But we greatly appreciate you coming in and being part of it. And we look forward to the future of 414 with Sam Allwright on board.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate the time.
Not a drama. See ya. You have been listening to the Property Pod, recorded and edited by 414 Media House in conjunction with 414 Property Code.
This podcast is general information only, and the thoughts and views expressed is the opinion of our panel, and listeners should always seek and use their own investigation into any topic we discuss to ensure they fully understand their own situation.
It does not constitute and should not be relied on as purchasing, selling, financial or investment advice or recommendations, express or implied, and it should not be used as an invitation to take up any agent or investment services. No investment decision or activity should be undertaken on the basis of this information without first seeking qualified and professional advice.